Hello and welcome to the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce Cable TV show. I am your host, Joe Ficcaro Jr. I am on the Chamber's Board of Directors. I am a past president, and I work with membership recruitment for the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I'm happy to have with us, actually, all of our guests tonight are relatively new members, but our first guests are from the attic door. We have the owner, Christy Johnson, immediately to my left, and next to her, Linda Bulmahn, who is a sales associate at the attic door and also the owner of Avondale Designs. And I think we're going to hear a little bit about that tonight, and a lot about the attic door. Welcome, ladies. I'm glad that you're with us.
Thanks.
I've known of the attic door for many years.
Yes.
Well established here in the community.
Yep.
And rather than me carrying on, I am going to give most of the time to you, which that's the purpose for the cable show. So, Christy, why don't you tell us, how did you get started in the consignment business?
Well, we started back in 1999. I started with my mother-in-law, who has since retired. She had a background, she had a consignment shop, a small consignment ladies boutique in Connecticut. And my background is fashion merchandising, and I was attending school for interior design at the time. So we kind of put our talents together, and when she moved back to Illinois, we came up with the attic door.
And I've met her.
Yes,
I'm
you
sure
have.
I have.
Yes.
Over the years. So that was
Back
what
in
inspired you?
1999,
Yes, that's a long time.
15 Yeah, 15 years this
You've
year.
seen a lot of changes in that period of time, in the community as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, you know, there's consignment and then there's consignment. How do you do your consignment work?
Well, the way it works for us is we take appointments every 45 minutes. So we average about 7 appointments a day. We take women's clothing, gently used women's clothing, and any accessories for women. You know, gently used shoes, purses, scarves, belts, anything that goes with the women's wardrobe. And we take furniture. We take household items. We take home decor. So with furniture, we like to see a picture of the item before we can say, yeah, it'll fit in our store. But we take everything for the home as well. So
we are by appointment, and during your appointment, you are able to shop throughout our store as we look through your items, and we choose the things that we feel will sell in the store. It's a 60-day consignment period, and during those 60 days, the price does drop 2 times of 20%, which our customers love that.
Over what period of time?
It's a 60-day consignment period.
All right, so all right.
So it starts out at one price, and our tickets are labeled by date, so the customers know what to expect. And the people who don't buy right away will miss out because it
happens
so
all the
many
time.
times.
All the
Sometimes
time.
it's
The
gone.
items are gone.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it happened today.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it happens all the time.
Happens to us too.
Yeah.
But when it ends, it's up to the consigners to come back and pick up the items that might still be in the store. And if they choose not to, items that are donated will go to our favorite charity, which is Together We Cope on Oak Park Avenue down the street from us.
Another well-known,
Yeah,
established
definitely. Yeah,
place.
we like working with them.
Yes, and I imagine people do come to you sometimes feeling that there's this great value for something, and you being in the business know whether or not it's something that really will be accepted or appealing to
Oh yeah.
the general public, or
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen a lot over the years. So I think our customers and consigners trust us with pricing their items because they know that we'll display it well. We'll give them a fair price for everything that they bring in. So it's well trusted with good relationship.
I have been in your store, right? So, but just for the benefit of the readers and maybe people who haven't been in the area for a while, what are you mentioned the different categories, but if you would maybe name some of those categories again, because I don't want to name categories that maybe you don't have.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Right.
Well, as far as like home decor, I mean, we brought a few examples of things that we take. We take linens. Linens sell really well. Books sell really well.
That was the
Believe it or
category I was
not,
gonna-
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you still had books.
No, we
Oh,
do.
we-
We
so
try to
many
keep them
books.
within 5 years.
Okay.
Cookbooks a little bit different. I mean, older cookbooks, people collect cookbooks.
They do,
So,
yeah.
so that's a little bit different. But we take pictures, we take lamps, we take knickknacks. I mean, people will bring in a whole grouping of like we had sunflowers, remember?
Yeah.
We've
strawberries
had
now.
a whole cherry grouping. I mean, we just, it's amazing some of the things that people break in. So,
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
a variety, quite
So
a
how
variety.
many active consigners do you have?
Right now, we have about 1,000. On a normal
Wow.
basis, it's about 1,000, but over the years, we've had thousands. I mean, after a year, the consigner will become inactive, so their number will be reused. So over the years, thousands and thousands of
That's a lot.
consigners. Yeah, and they come from everywhere. I mean, Chicago,
Indiana.
suburbs, or Indiana. I mean, we have people from everywhere, so we're very
Well,
fortunate.
Right, you've been
yeah.
around long enough.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, so that's the consignments. Now, are there other services that you offer at the Ad Couture?
We do. We have Ladies' Night Out, which is a ladies group can come in on a certain night. We'll give them about 3 hours to themselves. They have the whole store to themselves. And at the end of the evening, we will give them 10% of whatever the sales are for their charity of their choice. So that's a great thing for ladies. We have fundraising opportunities, we have room repurposing, we have personal shoppers, and one of our great things that we have is Linda, who does custom jewelry and purses.
Yeah, I do. About 10 years ago, I've always tinkered in it, but I really got more serious with it. And my daughter, she was so little then, she came up with Avondale Designs, which we live across the street in Avondale, so that was her thing. And I love to take, through travel, through antique stores, making really interesting jewelry out of pieces that you probably wouldn't even think could be jewelry. I love to take things from maybe that your grandmother left you, that you just lay in your jewelry box because you can't wear it, it's just too old-fashioned, and repurpose that and make it like a really unique item that you can wear every day and be proud of, and the sentimental value is really great. I also do handbags now, and I take either new or nearly new handbags and embellish them with really wonderful things, feathers, flowers, chains, buttons, just anything to make them a really unique piece to carry around, because I think everybody's an individual and they should have things that are just for them.
Sure. We have a couple of minutes, so let's get into with. I know there are some other questions that I want to definitely ask you. Do you have some ongoing or special promotions that you offer?
We do.
We do. Every month we have our Senior Citizen Day, and that's every other Wednesday. Our special customers that are 62 and older will get 10% off their entire purchase, which they love. And then every other Thursday we have our Thrifty Thursday, and it's for everyone. They get 10% off the most expensive item that they purchase.
And then like in November, every month we have something special. We'll have a Saturday, a special. In November, we actually have our open house, our holiday open house, which will be the 14th and 15th. And we're going to do the Small Business Saturday on the 29th, so it'll be 10% off the total store. So every month we have something going on. Yeah.
All right, so we don't run out of time. I know you've brought some items here, so we have a minute left.
Okay.
If you could just quickly tell us about a couple of these.
Okay, well, first, the outfit that we have here is a great representative of what we do have at the store. The trench coat is a Massimo trench coat. Right now it's $16. In a couple days it's going to go down 20%. We like to layer pieces. There's a couple layering pieces in there. I know one is $4. The necklace is one that I've designed. The purse is one of my Avondale Design purses. The denim
All right,
is...
Linda, we have about 20
I'm
seconds.
sorry. The denim is really expensive, and it's only $27.
All right, okay, all
Okay.
right. All right, well, ladies, I should say that time went by very
It
quickly.
did,
didn't
it did,
And I
yes,
want to
thank
thank you
you.
for being here.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for having us.
And hope to see you at some of the chamber
Yes.
events,
Absolutely.
especially
great.
the membership meetings. That,
Yeah.
All right?
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Great.
you. Awesome.
Well, as I said, all of our guests tonight are relatively new, and our next guest is probably one of the newest, and none other than Bernadette Faith, the owner of Faith Boutique and Antiques. And I should say, before I forget, that if you want to get a hold of any of the guests tonight, contact them, that is, or any of our other chamber members, you can get that contact information through the chamber office by going to www.tinleychamber.org or call the chamber's office at 708-532-5700. And I may repeat that later, or maybe I won't. But let's get into your portion here, because I know I just recently met you.
Yes.
And we want to know as much as we can about Faith Boutique and Antiques. So,
Okay.
Bernadette, if you would tell us, how did you get into this type of business?
Well, my whole life I've been wanting to open up my business, and just the timing for me was perfect right now. I've always loved fashion, and growing up being going into different types of boutiques, things like that. It's just the prices were always so high. Sometimes the atmosphere wasn't exactly somewhere I would love to be. So I decided to open up this boutique where the prices are lower, so people can actually afford the product. I have clothing for men and women, jewelry. I'm also having purses and shoes, and then on the other side I'll have home decor antiques. So kind of a little bit of everything.
Okay, now that's in a nutshell, and,
Yes.
and what I'm hoping we're going to be able to do is maybe talk a little bit about some of those individual categories.
Absolutely.
Because that may perk the interest of some people in coming into your boutique and antiques. Now, antiques themselves are intriguing.
Yes.
There's a story behind a lot of things, and maybe you'll tell us some of those stories. But all right, so you've already told us a little bit about yourself.
Yes.
And what inspired you to go into this type of work. How long have you been at your present location?
About a month now.
Okay. All right. Well, the first month, that's always the most challenging.
Yes, it is.
And of course, you're in a great community. And well, we only wish you a lot of continued success.
Thank you.
And I understand, Bernadette, that you work pretty much on your own.
Yes. Yes, they do.
So that means you wear a lot of different hats in your boutique and antique. Well, what do you call it? A Faith Boutique and Antiques
Store.
store.
Or shop.
Okay. Or shop. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think probably one of the most important things is what you actually have there. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the different categories, and when we get into the antiques, maybe something intriguing about some particular antiques that you've got.
Sure. Well, of course, I have clothing. I have, it's fall/winter now, so definitely jackets and sweaters, and then I have scarves. Again, everything is very affordable. I have shoes, I have some boots, purses, jewelry, lots of jewelry. I'm obsessed with jewelry and shoes. Those are my two favorite things.
Jewelry and shoes.
Yes.
All right. Now you said something. You said, well, it's fall. We're going into winter, which we're all looking forward to, aren't we?
Well, I actually love shoveling snow, so I'm okay with it.
Well, you heard that, and you can get in touch with Bernadette through the Chamber of Commerce office. Now, for fall, I mean, I know it's easy to say that we have, well, scarves and
Yes.
coats and what have you, but are there particular types? Are there some that are hooded and
As far as jackets and things like that, yeah, so the key is layering, absolutely.
Okay.
So there's different items. Of course, I have dresses too. We're going to be coming up on New Year's Eve and, of course, Christmas. So people are always going to want to dress up for those occasions. So, of course, I have some dresses.
different lengths,
Different
gowns
lengths.
and what have you as well? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So my age range too, though, I mean, it's almost anyone, to be honest with you. Definitely, I'm in my late 20s, so of course I'm going to definitely target that mark. But there's things for young teens, and then there's things for older women as well. So it's not one set age group that I have that I'm working with. I feel like a lot of my things can cater to different women as well as the men, because of course I have men's clothing as well.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the men's
Sure.
clothing. It's probably something I know a little bit more about. That was a joke. But I should. What are some of the types of items or categories in men's clothing that you have?
Well, my main thing is always going to be a focus a little bit more towards the women,
Sure.
just because I feel like the market for men usually There are a lot of men that shop, so don't get me wrong. However, I know a lot of women shop for their husbands, their boyfriends,
Sure.
things like that. So I don't have a ton of men's clothing. That's not my main focus, but
Okay.
I definitely have shirts. I have dress shirts. I have jeans, dress pants, some watches. I have some ties, some hoodies, some sweaters. So just basics. I feel like just the things that are important. So if a man comes in and needs an outfit to go out to dinner or something important, I'd have that. Or if you're looking for something casual and affordable, I have that as well. So,
Okay.
and that's pretty much what I'm doing with the women too. Most of it is dress for work, but
Mostly dress for work? Okay. Well, you say we're coming into the holidays, so
Yes.
that'll be play. more,
exactly,
right.
exactly.
And I'm sure as time goes on, you'll expand on some of the men's things because you say the women do a lot of shopping for the men as
Yes.
well. And I know that to be very true. So you said age-wise, it's a wide age spread
Yes.
from teens to seniors, I
Exactly.
suppose. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So I guess I usually say, well, who's your ideal customer? Well, actually, it's anybody within that range.
Absolutely. And I'm also looking to get into some children's clothes. Right now I have
Okay.
some like little cute headbands and tutus and things like that. So very basic right now. I just want to see how the market is with that. But I'd love to expand on children's clothing as well. Just fun, unique pieces. And that's pretty much the whole store that I have. So
That's a lot,
There's
but you
not
haven't
a-
been around that long, so
Absolutely.
you'll expand. Do you have some promotions during November and into December, maybe?
Yeah, my whole my whole goal for this, obviously, I want to make things affordable to the public, but also I want to give back to the community as much as I can. So every month I'm working with a new charity or organization.
Okay.
For the month of November, I can tell you that I am going to be partnering up with the American Cancer Society. I don't have a set date, but I'll definitely be working with them for a week or two in November.
Okay.
And then I might be working with the Relay for Life, things like that for them.
Very good. Well, giving back to the community always
Absolutely.
helps.
Absolutely.
And it's good networking as well. Well, I know we have a short amount of time left at this point. Is there something that you would like to say to our viewers as a parting message?
Sure. Definitely, again, just trying to expand and things like that as far as add more things so I can have different clothing and accessories for different ages, such as children, through teenagers, through young adults, through seniors, of course. So definitely just come check me out, check out the shop, see what we have to offer. I would love support from everyone. So
Well,
thank
you,
you.
Bernadette, for being on our show.
Thank you.
Faith, Boutique, and Antiques. It'll be nice to see the influx of people coming in there. And as I said, you haven't really been around all that long.
Thank you.
It will be a weekend full of nonstop fun from December 5th to the 7th when the Village of Tinley Park and the Community Resources Commission present this year's holiday events. The weekend kicks off at Friday, 6 p.m. with the lighting of the spectacular 35-foot holiday tree. The popular holiday market will be open all weekend, Friday 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday noon to 6 p.m., and Sunday noon to 5 p.m. Visitors can receive a complimentary photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus from noon to 6 p.m. Saturday and from noon to 5 p.m. Sunday. Take a horse-drawn carriage ride from the train station through historic downtown Tinley Park. Be sure to watch the ice carving demonstration and enjoy classic holiday movies at nearby Old Zion. The annual Parade of Lights will close the festivities at 5 p.m. on Sunday, December 7th, from 179th Street North to 171st Street. Bring your friends and family for a weekend of holiday cheer.
We would like to welcome another new chamber member from, well, I shouldn't say from, yes, I guess I could. We have with us Ericka Glorious Moore, and I'm not joking. Ericka Glorious Moore is a youth motivational speaker, and we'll get into the explanation of Glorious in a minute. But Ericka, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We've met you at a number of chamber events and meetings and what have you, and kept talking about getting you on here and doing a little motivational answering.
I think I can do that.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess initially, I mean, when somebody's a motivator, they had to have been inspired at some point to do it. So what was your initial motivation to do this?
My initial motivation actually happened last year. I mean, for years I've wanted to speak to youth and women, but my nephew passed away unexpectedly at 9 years old last year. And he mentioned to us in June, he passed away in August, but in June, to the family, he said to start living your life before it's too late. And this was always a desire of mine to inspire and to help youth with some of the things that I've dealt with in my life, and that was my motivation to get out and begin.
Well, it's I guess initially a sad motivation or inspiration, but still very often good things come from sad situations.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess we're glad that he motivated you or inspired you to do that.
Yes.
So that's how you've gone into. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about your youth motivational speaking engagements and what have you.
Okay. I've been in the community for several years doing my own business for graphic design. I've designed the Matson Public Library in 2006. I was nominated last year for the Southland Chamber for Youth Entrepreneur of the Year. So I've been a silent voice in the community. I've been around, and a lot of the things that happened in my life, I was bullied and had wanted to kill myself in 4th grade, and a lot of the different things that I've gone through has propelled me to be successful in having a successful career and to actually help and mentor others to have them be successful as well.
So I suppose that you can empathize with some of the things that our youth are going through today.
Absolutely.
So that in itself is motivation
Yes.
for you. Well, all right, so I've asked you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and you told us only a little bit about yourself. Is there some more that you're holding back?
Well, a lot of things that I've gone through were very emotional and very tragic.
All right, so we don't really
we
need to
can
get
talk
in.
a little
Okay,
bit
all
about it, but those are some of the things that I would love to talk to youth about.
Okay.
With especially women with emotional issues, abuse, sexual addictions, and things like that of that nature. I would love to get into that avenue. But right now I've been to high schools and different organizations talking about networking or bullying, goal setting.
So how would you characterize your style of speaking then?
I love to interact. I love to have participation in the audience. I love to pull out of the students to see what's really inside of them. I mean, a lot of times they'll act shy and all these different things, but when you draw them into the presentation, then they retain it and they come away with being able to apply it to their life.
So also you say when you get them involved, they participate more,
Yes.
and then they start to open up more.
Yes, and
Okay.
they remember. Like last week, I was at Tinley Park High School, and my topic was about networking, and I had 4 points on it. Was look the part, act the part, speak the part, live the part. And so I brought up some of the students and I said, okay, looking the part is having confidence. And so I had one act as if she didn't have confidence and one act as if she did. And so I was showing them this is how you need to approach an employer or if you want to be taken seriously as a young person. And the person that asked me to come and speak to them says that a lot of the students retain the information from bringing them up to participate.
So they got to do a little acting.
Yeah, they did, and they laughed a lot, and they did loosen up, and I had a lot of them come up to me afterwards and just ask me a little bit about my own life.
Did you just tell them I want you to act insecure or I want you to act very confident, and then they just used their own imagination or their own, let's say, internal skills to do that?
Yes, they did, and it was really exciting to see. A lot of students are they don't even realize the potential that's inside of them, and that's why I'm there. I was always trying to fit in with everyone because I was bullied all the time, like I said before, and I had extremely low self-esteem. So one of the reasons why I want to go is to draw out of them so they can see who they are and to love themselves at the core. And then they'll pull out and they'll be with their gifts and talents, and people can see who they truly are instead of trying to be somebody else.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And we want them to be who they really are.
Yes, we
Now,
do.
you've already said you're youth motivational speaker, so I figured that says something. But who is your target audience?
Who would I would?
Strictly youth, or is there even, let's say, certain age groups?
Oh, well, like I said, but I would love to speak to women about those emotional.
That's your
and
target
the-
audience
the-
then, okay.
the tragedies or loss. I would love that, but I do also love young people because I started my own business at 21, and I see their potential to be young entrepreneurs, and so I also love to talk to them too, so they can, they don't have to start at 30 to have their own business. They can start at 17 or 13 and be a successful business person.
I think people like to see role models, people who have started at a younger age and say,
Yes,
well,
they
if they
do.
did it, I guess I can do it as well.
Yes.
And they need that inspiration as well as that encouragement.
They do.
So you have various topics, I think, that you would cover. Do you customize or tailor them to a particular organization or school, or maybe even an event?
Absolutely. Just last week with Tinley Park High School, I was asked to speak about networking.
Okay.
But I would love to speak about bullying, or just in the reference of my nephew with tragedy, how
Yeah.
from loss to gain, how much people can gain from loss.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in a loss of a loved one, but loss of a job or a loss of a dream, but how they can gain in the end.
Certainly.
So, yeah.
And you're right. It doesn't necessarily have to be the loss of an individual. It could be the loss of a dream or job, a pet, whatever the
Yes,
case may be.
it could
Yeah.
be,
I guess there's a variety of losses out there. All right, so you spoke at Tinley Park High School. I know we only have about a minute left in our segment here, so what I would like to do is let you speak to our audience and maybe give them give them a parting message, so something that may inspire them to contact us in order to get in touch with you.
Well, I brought this little glow stick. Most people can relate to that, and everybody knows that it's bright. It can be bright, but it's not until it's broken that it begins to be activated.
Okay.
And a lot of people in life are broken.
Mm-hmm.
And inside, the light begins to shine through the brokenness. And so my message would be that through all the brokenness that people go through with the mess, just like Robin Williams passing away, he had on a happy face, but he was really sad inside. I want people to really be happy inside so that it can come out on the outside and they can truly shine. And that's some of the things that I've had to learn to truly love myself. And I love myself, and I want others to love themselves. And they can shine bright just like the glow stick.
Yes, they can, and I'm sure you'll motivate them to do that.
I sure can.
Ericka, thank you for being on our show.